Alright, motherfuckers, I haven't done one of these in a long time. But it's time to do another flashback, retro review, whatever the fuck you want to call this. So I picked a random Raw, thinking to myself, watching all these old Raws, which one of them should I review? Should I try to review all of them? Nah. We could do flashbacks and stuff, but I like to talk more about the current stuff. But I am going to talk about a Raw here. February 24th, 1997 was right after the In Your House Final Four pay-per-view. And here we go. This was a Raw that took place in the Manhattan Center. They returned to the Manhattan Center for whatever reason. I guess it's because this show was supposed to be an ECW invasion of sorts. This was the first Raw ever where we would see ECW wrestlers wrestling on Raw in sanctioned matches. Um, this didn't turn out really, I think, as well as it could have. This was not a very good point in WWE. They were just slowly adjusting to being more edgy. You had Vince McMahon talking about censorship, and how we didn't like censorship, and that was bull fucking shit. That was bullshit up the ass, and we all knew that. But he talked about it anyway, like, oh, censorship, we're not gonna do that, even though that's all they did. We started off with the new Blackjacks defeating the Godwins, and this was a piss poor fucking match. I can't even believe that this guy would end up becoming JBL, a WWE champion, and actually a pretty good talent, in my opinion, at least, and a good character. You took one look at this team, the new Blackjacks, and you would think that nothing good could come of this. It was horrible. It was botch filled. It was downright fucking terrible. It was really a very horrible fucking match. It has to be seen to be believed. The return to the Manhattan Center for WWE, and what do? They put this match on first for whatever reason. Now, the thing was, there was many ECW fans that packed into this arena, because this was the Hammerstein Ballroom, and that's pretty much why I think they returned. They tried to say that, they made it sound almost like it was an anniversary, but it really wasn't. Anyway, I really didn't see a point to it, aside from that also ECW had shows there. Um, anyway, we had our first ECW match. Paul Heyman came out. You had the Eliminators. They hit the total elimination on, I don't know what it was, some fucking ring crew guy or whatever the fuck he was. They did that move to him. Then they brought out the BWO. Um, and then you had Little Guido. And here was you had the Stevie Richards and Little Guido in a match. And here's the thing about this, what I didn't understand. Jerry the King Lawler was bashing this shit. He had invited ECW to come there, and he's just sitting there. Now, here's the thing. If they're going to promote ECW and Vince McMahon was funding ECW, why were they having the King tear it down and saying it was extremely crappy wrestling? He was literally saying that's what the acronym stood for. He was bashing all the talent, and really, you took one look at this match and it didn't stand out from any of the other WWE matches. You just saw a couple of guys dressed in basically blue New World Order outfits, and they even addressed that. Even Vince McMahon said it was a bit of it did remind him of the NWO. So this was a bit silly, having this match just so, no one seemed impressed by the unimpressive match. Wrestlers that Stevie Richards was popular at this time with the BWO, but I thought it was a really poor choice. This wasn't a good way to promote ECW and promote their barely legal pay-per-view. Up next, you had the arm wrestling contest between Marlena and Sunny. Um, this, this was an okay match. You got to look at Sunny, but that was about it. She threw some powder into Marlena's face, and there you go. Um, nothing really to talk about here. This was, we wouldn't be getting good, Divas moments until at least 1998 with Sable. Um, then you had Goldust and Savio Vega. They ran out during the arm wrestling contest. This match was boring as shit. Savio Vega, considered to be somewhat of a popular wrestler in Puerto Rico. In WWE, he was just total fucking shit, and he was there for a long time. Aside from having a couple of good kicks, the guy was slow as shit. He was really bad in the ring. He was sluggish. He was lethargic. The guy had no agility, no nothing. You think of like Latino wrestlers and you think of high flying antics. You think of great entertainment and high, fast paced matches that get you pumped. Savio Vega, just a piece of shit. And to make it even worse, you had Miguel Perez at ringside doing commentary. The man couldn't even speak English. He was fumbling over his words, and it made me think to myself this: why put him on commentary if he did not have a command of the English language yet? Basically, he kept repeating the same thing. Savio Vega, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He turned his back on the Puerto Rican people. We get that. Match went on for 10 minutes straight, and all we heard was the same fucking shtick over and over. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe how fucking shitty this was. During this point in time, you had WWE doing some good things with Bret Hart and Stone Cold and a few other things, but for the most part, they were fucking sucking. I mean, they were. You could definitely see like they might go out of business with the way how this was going. This match looked like total shit, and the commentary was awful. Up next, you had another ECW match with Taz and Mikey Whipwreck. A little short match, but Sabu jumped off the Raw sign. Back when they used to have the Raw lettering at the entrance ramp, he jumps off onto all of Taz's bodyguards, I guess. Pretty good moment, but once again, you look at this match, and aside from Sabu, what he did, what was Taz and Mikey Whipwreck doing to really, promote ECW, a 2-minute match? It's not their fault, but McMahon puts them out there to promote them, and this is not going to catch anybody's attention. Mikey Whipwreck and Taz are, in the ring for 2 minutes, and how, the Blackjacks and Godwins get more time. Goldust and Savio Vega, I mean, I guess you could say the match was better than those matches, and I guess, by default, this match is better because those suck so hard. And this one's shorter, so I guess that was McMahon's logic. A shorter match means a better match. Then you had a LOD returning to face the Headbangers. The crowd went fucking insane for the LOD, but it would have been nice to have the LOD win. Instead, they have a double count out with the Headbangers of all people. The Headbangers weren't a bad team, but they weren't a great team. And there was no reason why the LOD couldn't beat the Headbangers here. It would have been understandable. They're an up-and-coming team, but this is fucking Legion of Doom. So they could have fucking won this match, and they could have went back to pushing the Headbangers next week. Then it was Tommy Dreamer and Devon Dudley. As you could see, these were just random ECW matches. A tag team wrestler wrestling a singles match guy. Just no rhyme or reason to the matches. This was the best ECW match they had on the card. Tommy Dreamer with a couple of, hardcore things. This match made sense. Dreamer tried to make the best of the 5 minutes he was given by, doing a couple of things with weapons, making it seem like this was, an ECW match, not a WWE match. So I was pretty happy with the way how this one came out. This is what I would expect from an ECW match. Then you had Undertaker and Farouk in the main event. Ringside, you had Ken Shamrock, who Jerry the King Lawler pretended to know who he was, but Shamrock said he never saw him in his life. Farouk starts arguing with Shamrock at ringside, and Shamrock says he wants to step in the ring with him. This match between The Undertaker and Farouk was beyond fucking terrible. You know, this was such a slow, boring ass match, and I have to really say this. Undertaker didn't have great matches until later on in his career, and I still stand by that. Not to say he never had a decent match before, but you take a look at, the matches he was having in 98, 99, and 2000, they were 10 times better than piece of shit matches like this. Slow, lethargic, boring as fuck. I couldn't even stand this match. It was just so boring. It's one of those matches where you're like jumping out of your skin. You can't even fucking tolerate how slow and boring it is. It ends with Nation of Domination coming in the ring. D'Lo Brown looking like a goddamn goof in that little tuxedo that looked like it was 2 sizes too small for him. Anyway, this Raw, I had actually never seen this Raw before. At this time, I wasn't consistently watching wrestling. I only tuned in once in a while, so I didn't ever get to see this one. I was expecting it to be a lot better. ECW matches on WWE television. What a concept. Yeah, exactly. What a fucking concept. What a terrible fucking execution this was. Great concept, but McMahon wants to help ECW promote their pay-per-view, and what happens? What a lousy fucking effort it turns out to be. Most of the time, I like the bickering between the King and Heyman, but it wasn't even part of the show. It was like the King's true feelings. Why are we having a guy that's completely biased and just going to rip it apart? That's not how you're going to promote it. People are going to think to themselves, well, if a major company like WWE is putting down ECW, maybe they're right. And then they're going to start searching for the flaws. I didn't understand. You couldn't even see the direction of this company at the time. They just seemed fucking lost. And the way how this whole fucking Raw was put together was fucking pathetic. Bret Hart, Stone Cold, where were these guys? Vader, they were all at the Final Four. And they were nowhere to fucking be found. We didn't see any of the major top stars. Instead, we got new Blackjacks and the Godwins. You could say they were trying to give guys some other time and they had to make sacrifices because the fucking ECW guys were there, but that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. They still had time to do a retarded arm wrestling match. You still had time for Goldust and Savio Vega boring us to tears in the ring. They're talking about matches at Mania, but where's the promotion? Where's the interaction between the wrestlers? We see the Nation of Domination 10,000 fucking times throughout the show in Farouk's boring ass. But we don't get to see the major stars that are going to be selling Mania. Is Farouk going to be selling Mania? Hell fucking no. And also, where's Psycho Sid? Psycho Sid's going to be in the main event against Undertaker for the title. Doesn't even show up once, motherfuckers. I didn't get it. I didn't like this Raw. I was expecting more. I thought there was going to be a bit of awesomeness. I thought we were going to have a true, great, ECW invasion type of episode here. But, I see that I was better off not even watching it. Piece of shit. Horrible matches. You know, nothing memorable whatsoever. All right, motherfuckers. We'll be back with more retro reviews. Let me know if you want to see more. I know people wanted to see more, so here's more.